Hey there, everybody. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Seasoned Vegan, where we cook, we chill, and we chat. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make these delicious blueberry scones. They are so easy, they come together in a heartbeat. Well, maybe a little longer than that, but they're quite fast to make. So I'm just going to dive right into these ingredients here. I'll show you everything that you need to make these yourself. So let's see. First off, we've got our soy milk. Oh my gosh, I am the worst at the camera. Hold on. Okay, we've got our soy milk, our baking powder, some salt, we've got some ground flaxseed, sugar, and butter. Now, your butter, you want to make sure that it is very, very cold. That is key when you're making scones. We also have our vanilla extract right there, some lemon zest. It is very, very delicious. Some blueberries, and I am using frozen blueberries. However, you could use fresh blueberries if you want. Totally up to you. And then right back here, we've got our flour. Okay, so that's it in terms of ingredients. Now let's put them together and turn it into something delicious. So the first step here is to mix together our flour and our sugar. There it goes. And our flaxseed, our ground flaxseed. Basically, we're just mixing together all the dry ingredients, right? Dry ingredients first here. We've got our baking powder and our salt. And I'm not saying the measurements in the video because those are in the description below. Very easy for you. And once all the dry ingredients are in the bowl, you're going to go ahead and mixy. All right, step number 2. What we're going to do is cut in our cold butter. And like I said, you are going to want to make sure it is very, very cold. Go ahead and stick it in your fridge for a while, maybe 30 minutes, and it should be good to go. And I like to cut it into little cubes before I put it in. I've just found that it makes it a bit easier to cut it in. To cut it in, I use my, what is this thing called? I forget. Baking knife? Or cutter? Is it literally called a cutter? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm using this. And I'm just gonna cut. And cutting in butter by hand, it does take, some elbow grease, some time. So that's why I like to go in with my hands after a while, just to make sure that everything is thoroughly incorporated. If you have some type of kitchen stand mixer, go ahead and use that. It'll be way easier for you. Otherwise, just put on some good music and have fun. You're basically trying to get it to look like this, like a kind of crumbly, sandy texture. And once you're there, you are good to go. Let me show it to you a little closer up. There we go. We can see those flax seeds running through there. That looks perfect. All right, let's move on to the next step. At this point, we're going to put in our wet ingredients. So that includes the soy milk. There we go. Our vanilla extract. Boom. And I can't remember if there is, our zest. We definitely want to put in our zest. I don't know why, but the zest just adds such a nice, brightness to the scones for sure. Oh, I guess I'm not putting the zest in yet. We're giving it a little mix first. Mix. Also, you don't want to overmix at all. Just kind of get everything, pretty much incorporated. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. That's what I love about scones. They are so easy. You can basically throw them together. I love it. All right, so I'm just going to mix this and then I'll tell you about the next step. All right, look at that. It's pretty much come together at this point, so that's pretty good. Let's move on to our next step. All right, now we're gonna add in our zest. Here we go. And like I said, this is just lemon zest. I'm pretty sure it's zest from half a lemon. If it's a whole lemon and I'm wrong, then I'll let you know in the description below. But either way, I don't think you could add too much. It's really, really delicious in my opinion. All right, next we're going to go ahead and put in our blueberries. Now, my frozen blueberries did sit out on the counter for a little bit because it took me a little longer to get everything done since I was filming it as well. Anyway, I think that's the reason that they're kind of dyeing the rest of my batter here all purple and blue. But that's not going to affect the taste at all. It's going to be absolutely delicious. I'm just letting you know because it does look a little messy, messier than I'm used to. And I think it's because I left them out and they kind of thawed a little bit. So if I were you, I'd leave them in the freezer until you're absolutely ready to put them in. And then go ahead and fold them in. And you want to be gentle when you're folding them in. You don't want to break anything. All right, at this point, I'm kind of just like kneading the dough. Maybe like 2-3 times, fold it over, press it down, just like that. Now the dough is very, very sticky, messy, so heads up. It's just the way it is. So there we go. We're just going to push it down until it's about an inch thick, roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want it to be flat and circular. Just like that. And look, it's about an inch, maybe an inch and a half. So that's pretty perfect. At this point, we're just going to cut it like a pizza. We're just going to put like 2 X's in it, if that makes sense. You want 8 pieces at the very end, and it's going to look messy. It's going to look kind of like it'll stick together, but it won't. It's pretty cool. Look, just lifts right out, and that's what you want. And, they're supposed to be triangular. Mine got a little mashed. These aren't the best scones in terms of like looks that I've ever made. They're a little messy, but you get the general idea of how to make them. Okay, so at this point, I'm just kind of making them look a little better. And I'm also going to take some sugar, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little sugar on the top of each one. I think it just really adds to the quality and the taste of it all. It gives the end bite such a nice little, like, sweet crunch. Delicious. And there we go. Sugar for each one. And that's it. Now that everything is on a prepared baking tray, we're going to throw it in the oven and bake them up. There we go. And might I just say, these are absolutely divine. Absolutely divine. They don't need anything on them. If you want, you could put like some butter or something, but I think that they are just good straight out of the oven as is. Anyway, we're going to bake it at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. We want the bottoms to be cooked. Oh, 25, pardon. I always get it wrong for you guys, sorry. Anyway, we want the bottoms to be cooked and we want the tops to be golden brown. Just like that. There they are. Beautiful vegan scones. So, so good. These are such a treat, guys. And I moved them over by the window. That's why the lighting looks a little more harsh, but I wanted you guys to see them. Even though they're not the most gorgeous things in the whole wide world, they are so delicious. They are so delicious. And just so you know, you could also do it with blackberry or, well, hell, whatever you want, guys. All right, well, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye!